Welcome back, welcome back, welcome back. We are back with another edition of Tuesday's Thought. So good to have you, and thanks so much for taking the time to tune in. Tonight, I want to share this very quick thought with you. I was thinking the other day about why it is so hard sometimes when there is something that we know we should do. We know it is for our betterment. We know that it is for our benefit. We know that it's probably healthy for us. All of these things. We know we should do it. We know deep down on the inside we should. But some way, somehow, it's just so hard for us to get it done. And I thought about it and I said, you know what? It boils down to this one little thing. Actually, it's not a little thing. It's a big thing. It's this thing that we call discipline. Okay? Now, this is not an easy thing to admit, but if we're honest, we all struggle. There is a struggle in all of our lives, in maybe not all areas of our lives, certainly, but in some areas of our lives, we struggle with a particular level of discipline, such that we know that there's something we should be doing or shouldn't be doing. I guess the reverse can also apply, but some way, somehow, we just don't get it done, right? And we end up, because of this lack of discipline, we end up pretty much just settling. Well, I guess I don't really need to, lose that 10 pounds or whatever it is. It could be financial, relational, whatever that area is that you struggle in. Because we lack the discipline, somehow we fall just shy of getting to that point, and then we end up getting comfortable. We settle in it, okay? But I was thinking about why that is. Why is it that we struggle so much with developing the discipline that we need to see fulfillment in these various areas that we lack in? And what I believe it comes down to is this. It is basically the fact that we tend to equate discipline with deprivation. So in other words, we tell ourselves that, well, if I have to be disciplined in a particular area, it means somehow I'm going to be having to deprive myself. So let me take an example. I know I should get up early and exercise, for example, okay? And it means I'm going to have to deprive myself. If I'm going to have to do exercise in the morning, I'm going to lose that 1 extra hour of sleep. Or I know that I want to go on vacation, but if I have to start budgeting and, saving, I'm going to have to deprive myself. I'm going to have to deprive myself from doing the things or spending on things that I want to do. That's a better way of saying it. Spending on the things that I want to do if I'm to save up for that particular thing. So I'm going to have to deprive myself. Or if I need to go on a diet, I'm going to have to deprive myself of, feeding that sweet tooth craving that I have. So it's this constant battle of, in our minds, thinking that in order for me to get to that place that I know I should be getting to, it's better for me, it'll result in an improvement, I'll see greater success, but there's too much that it's going to cost me, so to speak, and I'm going to have to deprive myself. So it is because of this distorted way of us viewing discipline that we tend to miss the mark. So tonight what I wanted to do is I want to change that narrative. I want us to look at it from a different perspective. So rather than saying, well, it's going to cost me too much, I'm going to have to deprive myself of this thing, flip the script and see it as, well, I'm actually going to gain, right? This thing that I know I should be doing, I know I should go back to school, for instance, so that I could finish my credits, finish my degree, or whatever the circumstance might be, to maybe open the doors for a different or better job opportunities. I know I should do it, but it's going to cost. Flip the script and think about what you're going to gain. So rather than saying, oh, I got to get up, I got to go to the gym and work out, I get to go out and get my lungs pumping, air in there. I get to develop my strength. Or, rather than looking at it as I'm going to now have to eat more vegetables. take the opposite approach. Stop looking at it as, what am I going to be losing? And start considering, okay, how can I spin this? How can I consider this, this area, this thing that's lacking? How can I consider it as a gain? How can I consider it as a positive, right? Discipline is it's actually about training. If you look, and I did a quick Google on the word discipline itself to kind of get a better understanding of what it actually means. And if you dig deeper, you find that the root of it pertains to learning, right? Study and applying. It's about training in essence. Discipline is really about training. So it's about training your mind. Okay, and in this particular context, train your mind to think differently about that thing that seems so hard for you to grab hold of. As I said, be it natural or even spiritual, developing a more steadfast, prayer life, being consistent in the study of the word, all these things, again, that you know you should be doing. We should be doing it, but somehow we seem to fall short of it. Think about the gain. Think about the benefit. I want to share this quick example. I remember, I'll preface it by saying, every now and again, I enjoy a little shopping here and there. And I remember when I was getting ready to buy my first home, I knew I had to save up that money. And so I did not step foot, I probably didn't even drive by the mall for 9 straight months. There was no shopping taking place. There was nothing. Why? Because I had this goal, right? That I was really excited about, and knew that I had to invest and save and so on and put some work in for. So I didn't go to the mall. But I didn't see that as, to be honest, I don't even really remember missing not going shopping, right? Because I didn't see it as a deprivation. I saw it as a necessary step to achieving that. So once again, maybe this is a homework exercise or something that you can do even now. Just pull out your phone or a notepad and a pen and write down your 3 top areas of struggle, if I can call it that. Three areas in your life where, if you're really honest with yourself, you know that you lack discipline in those areas. Write those down, okay? Write those down. And then as you're writing them down, rather than thinking about, in the sense of why you haven't achieved them yet, rather than thinking about the cost of them, think about the benefit, flip it. I get to do this rather than I have to do this. And I promise you, you'll begin to start seeing a shift. Now, mind you, discipline is not something that abracadabra, what I was trying to say. Discipline is not, like poof, there you go. You're this completely disciplined person in all the areas of your life. It is something that is developed. Let me slow down. It's something that it is developed, right? You build it. And so allow yourself, even as I said in this quick exercise, like be intentional. Focus on developing those areas where you found that you have fallen short and are perhaps missing the mark because you've lacked discipline in that space. Let me just leave this very quick. I said we were going to be quick tonight. Let me just leave this passage of scripture, which I found to be very relevant to kind of anchor the thought in your mind. Hebrews chapter 12 and the 11th verse says, "No discipline is enjoyable while it is happening. It's painful, but afterwards there will be a peaceful harvest of right living for those who are trained in this way." So a slightly different context in terms of the word discipline, more looking at it from the perspective of like correction, but it's still very much applicable. The process of developing discipline in your life is not necessarily going to be enjoyable. When you're, on that treadmill or wherever it is, and you're putting in the time, putting in the effort, putting in the work, or as I said, whatever area, you can apply this to whatever area, it's not going to be enjoyable necessarily in the moment. But don't conceive of it as a strain, a pain, a burden, right? Think about the end result. Think about what it is that you are gaining in the moment. You know what? I'm developing greater cardiovascular strength while I'm here on this here treadmill. Okay? Think about what you're standing to gain from it as opposed to what you're standing to lose. And by God's grace, you will begin to see different results. Once again, thank you so much for tuning in. We really appreciate you as I say, taking the time out to listen in and hear the thought for the week. As always, it is my prayer for you that the peace of God will be with you. Until next time, God bless you. See you later.